Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Monday Q&A call on the speakerfocus.com platform. I am the CEO of speakerfocus.com, Kevin T. Robertson, here to answer any and all questions pertaining to growing your speaker business. We are definitely fired up today on behalf of the entire team. Austin is on vacation this week with a much needed break. So if you have any technical questions, you know what to do. Submit your questions to support@speakerfocus.com. We are going to tackle the difficult questions. We're going to help you get unstuck today, as many of you are. We're going to answer questions about building a speaker brand, getting you to the market, converting prospects into revenue. We talk about it all on this platform, from building messaging to setting up the proper sales tools so you don't have to talk as much, and making sure that your brand is popping and earning revenue. Now, anybody has a question, use the raise hand feature and I'll be sure to get right to you. As I am peeling back the layers of my opening monologue, I just want to be able to say this to you. Every time I come off of a tour day, I was on tour in Spartanburg, South Carolina this past weekend at the Metavision conference. I also was at the Embassy Suites Conference and Golf Center, talking to a couple corporate clients over there as well. And, you know, an interesting strategy that we teach on the platform is called block bookings. So in other words, while you're in the area doing the Metavision conference, you can also tap into a couple other corporate events that are going there as well. And that's exactly what I did. It's a great way to not only add revenue, but it's also a great way to build the brand. And if you know anything about me, it's going to be that I'm all about brand building. People resonate with brands. Speakers have their brand, when done the right way, creates a lot of distinct separation and market differentiation. It's the same way that that Rolex has a unique brand of their watches. It's the same way that the reason why the supply is always so low is because people want them. You don't really see them, you know, really advertise a lot, because when it gets on your wrist, you know, you just want to be able to, go get another one. It's a walking billboard. And that's what your speaker business should be. You should be walking it and talking it. Gregory Adams, new to the platform. I do see your hand up, sir. I'll be right with you. But I'm telling you right now, the pool of revenue that's in this industry, and it is not going to slow down anytime soon, is that all of you should be thinking brand. How do I build my speaker brand? How is it unique? I should be taking my speaker brand and positioning. Remember, selling is not convincing anybody of anything. Selling is proper positioning of your brand, presentation of the facts. Show them the value, they will show you the money. That's what this is all about. I keep trying to tell you, I don't do anything by accident. Everything you see me do is very strategic. From what I post on social media, what I wear, everything. I do what I want to do, how I want to do it. I do what I feel. I feel what you see on the outside is how I feel on the inside. So you need to be thinking about that, about your speaker business. How do you feel on the inside? Because you need to be showing it. You need to demonstrate to these meeting planners that you are more than capable of earning their respect and taking a place on their stage at these events. We're going to get to Gregory Adams, and then I'm going to jump back into making a couple other points. And let's keep rocking. Let me see. Greg, allowed to talk. Gregory, can you hear me? Gregory, you there?
Unmute. Sir, I'm here.
Boom, there it is right there. I hear you, Gregory. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. And yourself?
I'm doing super fantastic. Welcome to the platform. You literally just registered like it wasn't even probably an hour ago or something. So Gregory,
it was under an hour, and I'm glad I'm on, and I'm glad to be here for the first questions. My actual hand raising was initially that I just wanted to know if I had the right time of 6 o'clock. So that's all that was. Okay. But I'm excited about just hearing what the other people who have been involved, their questions, so that I can learn, because branding is always something that I wanted to be able to do, but I wanted to be unique once that happened. So I'll just stop and listen.
Got you. Got you. Okay, Gregory. Well, again, welcome to the platform. We have a long ride ahead of us. We are here to support you, and we answer any and all questions every single Monday pertaining to growing your speaker business. Remember, let me just remind you, you do not have to wait until Monday. You can ask questions every single day through support@speakerfocus.com. It's where we're able to serve you at the highest level. It's where we're able to hold you accountable. It's where we're able to give you detailed responses about what you're supposed to be doing to grow your speaker business. I'm going to jump back into a couple points, a couple things I have on my mind as the room is still filling up. Anybody that has a question, by all means, raise your hand and I will get right to you in the order that I see you raise your hand. Now, I can tell you like this. There is a very unique shift happening in the speaking industry. If you're out there in the market, whether or not you are doing online presentations or whether or not your tour schedule has ramped up like mine has over the last 30 days, and you're actually on site speaking, dealing with COVID protocols, some places I love it because there's a freedom that people are feeling again because they got tired of being inside. No matter how you feel about the pandemic, whether or not you're wearing a mask or not, I suggest you still do to protect yourself, but everybody's different. You walk in some venues and nobody has a mask on. Very few people are wearing masks. The numbers are dropping down. I do understand that. But the new world of, I'm going to say, what it's going to look like post-pandemic, we have been preparing our students for that the whole time. Build. Remember, keep your mouth shut, keep your head down, get the work done, and focus on next level success. Because when I tell you that the money is there like I've never seen before, and the reason why is because of the technology. You people need to really understand what I'm saying to you right now, because if old school thinking has you stuck, it has you trapped in any way. Terry Wade, I'll be right with you. I see your hand up. If it has you stuck in any way, then the key is to understand the technology and how you should be promoting your brand online, because the revenue that is being generated right now is just simply staggering. Now, so that you don't fall into the trap like most speakers do, they just try to jump right into the marketplace and they try to hit the stage. What we're showing you how to do is build your business properly so you don't have to go out there looking like a fool like I did for the first 7 years of my career, when I was just a struggling, lowly, motivational, inspirational speaker, when I didn't know any better. I couldn't do better. And I see it with speakers every day. 80% of the YouTubers are all just trying to out-motivate each other. It's sad because you want to talk too much. Talking is not going to earn you revenue. You got to complete the signature programs, get the proper messaging, keep tweaking your messaging for your target audience, and make sure you go out there and do what it is that you got to do. Now, also, I'm not sure if Greg meant to put his hand back up, but let me lower his hand. Greg, if you meant to ask a question, you can do that. I don't see Terry. Terry, I did see your hand up, but I don't see it up anymore. I'll just keep talking until the next person puts their hand up. Remember, use the raise hand feature if you have a question, or you can put it in the chat box. If you're not comfortable sharing online, like a lot of our students are not, don't worry about it. You can always submit a support ticket to support@speakerfocus.com. And all of your questions, answers will be kept confidentially. We'll help you grow your speaker business. No matter what you're struggling with, we'll help you get through it. Let me get back to my point. Brand is important because the market is flooded with so many other speakers, coaches, and consultants. That's okay. What you have to make sure is that you have a different offering. You have to make sure that whatever it is you're offering is that unique and so different, because keep this in mind as you are, especially the speakers out there with your chest stuck out, right? The ones that are really egotistical, or you want everybody to know everything about your resume, as impressive as it may be. The meeting planner doesn't care about that up front. Remember that. What you need to understand is this. The meeting planner, this is what they're thinking about you. Why should we separate ourselves from our $5,000+ just for 1 hour and give it to you? That's number one. So you better make damn sure certain that you are the speaker that they want to hire that's bringing the value. Another thing they're thinking is, What makes you so special? Why are you so good at what it is that you do? The key is you shouldn't have to be put in a position where you got to explain yourself. Now, if you got the right kind of signature programs, you don't have to do that. This is the first step to substantiating your value as a high fee speaker. I see this happen every single day. There's so many people that do not know how to substantiate their value as a high fee speaker. You know why they don't? They don't understand how to do that because they're too busy talking. Illustration beats conversation. First step to substantiating your value as a high fee speaker is through your messaging. Knock out the signature programs in the bio in module 1. Second step to substantiating your value is through the sales tools. Website, speaker video, demo, speaker info kit. Now you have leverage. Once you have leverage, now you can get out there and say, okay, I know my value. I know what I'm worth. I know how to have the proper pricing conversation so I'm not getting underpaid. I see this shit happen every single day. People think they know what's going on in this business, but when they talk to the meeting planner, they get their ass handed back to them in 50 different sections. All you had to do was listen. This is why we have a platform to teach you everything before you show your speaker business to the meeting planner. I will personally approve every single word of your signature programs and also make sure that all your sales tools are put together the right way. And Austin and I will make sure that all of your sales funnel is set up properly and that all the automation is set up the right way so you can convert prospects into revenue. And that's what this is all about. So you should be participating in revenue generating activity. All right, y'all, don't play with me with these questions. I'll shut the group call down, Q&A right now if I don't see some hands go up. Okay, boom, I see Terry Wade back. Okay, Terry, how are you?
Hey, Kevin, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing super fantastic. Terry, I look how I feel.
Yeah, looking sharp. Well, I just want to say thank you, man. Last call was so good, talking about branding and doing your market research and market differentiation. So I've been looking at speakers in my industry, getting a lot of ideas, seeing how I can stand out in the market.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm just so appreciative that you're keeping this open for us because I know I took a little break and I'm back at it, back into the modules. And I actually don't have a question. I just want to say thank you because I took a break and I'm able to come back. And I just appreciate that so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Well, Terry, before you go, let me tell you this. I knew that Terry, when you run a multi-million-dollar sales funnel, you literally, I talk to everybody, whether or not they're in our coaching program or not. So my eyes see a lot of coaches every day. My eyes see a lot of consultants every single day. One thing I loved about you in the beginning, and I love it now, is your authenticity. A lot of times what we're doing when we're building a brand is we're trying to create this image in our mind instead of just being ourselves. The Terry Wade that I met and the one that is on this call right now, I know you already have some separation and some differentiation. It's your ideology, Terry. It's your approach. That's the brand right there. See, brand, watch this. Brand is not just the way you dress. This hat, this custom fedora doesn't make KTR. It doesn't. It's the approach that I use towards leadership. That's what makes me a unique leadership. That's what leadership speaker. That's what puts me in the top 20% of leadership speakers on planet Earth. That's the separation that I'm talking about. So the way you think, the way you approach your customer base, I saw it in your signature programs. When you start putting together the messaging, you showed me that in the first call. So you already have a lot of separation. Now it's good that you're looking at what everybody else is doing in your industry. Terry, this is a quick tip. I used to have the top 50 to 100 leadership speakers bookmarked in my old computer when I first started.
Yeah.
And I would go to their websites. I would see when they made changes. I would look at the verbiage versus the verbiage that I had. And honestly, my wife had to point it out to me. And she had to say, okay, look at the way your verbiage sounds when you market yourself. Watch this, Terry. It was full of me. I. This is how super fantastic I am. This is how spectacular I am. Then I looked at Les Brown. I looked at Dennis Kimbrough. I looked at all of the other speakers in my space that were leadership speakers, and I saw it was dripping with benefit language. This is before I understood how to write great copy.
Yeah.
My wife literally took the programs that I was working on. She slammed them on the ground. She said, "You're not listening. Look at all these other speakers." Like I would call up when they had media kits back in the day, Terry, like when they would put it through the mail, not electronic press kit, they would actually drop it in the mail. I just lied and said, hey, I want to book Les Brown to speak. And then they sent me Les's press kit.
Oh, yeah.
In the mail. I mean, my God, it was, oh, Terry, it was elaborately put together. I mean, it was beautiful. These things probably cost like maybe $5 to $10 a piece to send these out. Now, back in the day, direct mail was real big. So you would send this to the corporation. So I'm sitting here, I'm ordering everybody's speaker info kit in their press packet. And when I opened it up, I was almost in tears because I realized that I didn't know how to create what they had. And then another thing, I didn't have the budget to be able to create it as well. But what I did was I learned a valuable lesson. I learned that each one of these speakers, that if you went down the line, what makes them different? Because if everybody's a leadership speaker, then what makes all the leadership speakers different? It's the ideology, Terry. It's the approach. It's the content. It's the curriculum. It's the unique way in which you think. Think about this. A snowflake has a different identity when it falls. We all have different set of fingerprints. I mean, why is it that our DNA and our fingerprints are different from millions, billions of people in the world? It's been here before us and now. You were uniquely and specifically wired and customized to be different. So if you could just start with that, like I only know how to be me. Like I'm good with that. I'm okay with what I wear, with who I am, with what I say, the way I say it. I'm not trying to get it perfect. I know this. My serve first personality has made me more money than ever in the history of my life. When you learn the bigger problem you learn how to solve, the more money you're going to make. Terry, that's why we run a multi-million-dollar sales funnel. And that's why a lot of people don't, because they don't know how to write copy. It's two things. We solve a big problem and we know how to write copy. We know how to write the specific verbiage that will get your ass on that strategy call and to get in front of me to learn about what you don't know about your speaker business. And that's what I want all of you to do with the meeting planner. So Terry, while you're clicking on all these other women speakers in your space, what have you noticed so far that's unique and different about each one of them that you took away?
Well, what I noticed is, I mean, their signature programs, like it, I mean, I guess the biggest difference, I mean, a lot of them was similar, but just the way that they approached it and they told their story. So it's like one of them's like, you know, she has a lawyer background. The other one, she, you know, has, you know, she was on The Secret. Like, it's just like who they were, like kind of was sharing. Their programs are a little bit similar, I felt like with the success and the image and the having the positive attitude. So I felt like a lot of that part was similar, but I don't know, it's like who they were, like telling their story is, I felt like what made them stand out, like their background. And it's like, you know, like, so whoever your audience is, like they can relate to you because they know who you are because you've told them the story, you know. So that was like a big thing that stood out. So I'm like, I need to tell more of my story and, you know, how I got to where I am today and who I am. Absolutely. Remember, Terry, illustration beats conversation. And another thing too that really separates them, if you're going to have a bunch of leadership speakers, what gives you that market differentiation away from every other leadership speaker on planet Earth? Then that would be the marketing. To be honest with you, Terry, very few speakers, the majority of speakers, 80% of them don't know how to properly market themselves. So they're just kind of winging it, making it up as they go along. But when you have a marketing machine built, and I'm so glad that you shared and said, hey, I'm back. I had to go away for a while. You know, stuff happens. People get distracted. People have other businesses that they're running. We set the platform up like this so you can just pick up where you left off. We're in it with you for the long haul. So I appreciate the fact that you're doing your research in your niche. You are looking at what other women leadership speakers and women empowerment speakers have to offer. There are a lot of great offerings, but I'm telling you, Terry, at the end of the day, what makes your brand stick out above and beyond everybody else is the fact that you know how to reach where they are and you know how to keep your brand in their face and create top of mind awareness. Those are the ones that get the business. The speakers that get the business, watch this. It's a small amount of meeting planners, probably around 7 to 10%, maybe even 15 to 20% who are looking to book a program right now. The rest of them are going to be in that 60, 90 day, 120 day time frame, 3 to 6 months. Some of them are looking to book you out a year, sometimes 2 years in advance. That's just the way it is. The ones who want to really structure an event. So
What allows you to stay top of mind? I talk about it in module 2. It's called TOMA, top of mind awareness. What allows you to stay top of mind with the meeting planner? Retargeting ads. The retargeting is running 24 hours a day. It's touching the meeting planner. It's sending out my face and my value videos in front of the meeting planner all the time. So when they're ready, Terry, to make a purchasing decision, they say, you know what? I've been seeing that guy, Kevin T. Robertson, for the last 6 months. I know we weren't ready. This happens to me every single day. Somebody that I spoke to 2-3 years ago wasn't ready, but because they see my face on Facebook all the time, because they see me on a YouTube pre-roll ad, they see me all the time. They see Speaker Focus all the time. These meeting planners are seeing me. When they're ready to make a purchasing decision, they think about you. They're not thinking about who the best leadership speaker is in the world, because I make them believe that I'm the best, because I create multiple touch points, Terry. Am I making sense to you what I'm saying?
Definitely, definitely. And yeah, I think you're leading by
more,
example. I'm taking notes. It really, yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I create more touch points, Terry. I beat my competition with better marketing strategies. This is what we're teaching you on the speakerfocus.com platform. So it doesn't matter. I don't give a damn what the other leadership speakers are doing. There was one point when I was in my 20s, Terry, I used to really be concerned. And I mean, I used to be frustrated, mad. Why are they getting the bookings and I'm not? You know, all that young boy stuff. You know, I wasn't even a full grown man when I started this business. I was a kid. So I didn't understand, well, why are they getting the bookings? Like, I used to be mad. I wouldn't hate on them because that's really not my personality, but I would be like, man, I'm missing out on something. Why are they getting the revenue and I'm not? It's because they were beating me to the punch, Terry. They knew how to market to the specific meeting planners who I wanted to get in contact with. They did the research. They weren't afraid to do the work. This is the reason why I have the approach that I do, because I don't want you falling into these traps. You've got to really spend the next couple of years building out your speaker business properly. You've got to spend a couple of years beating the other speakers to the punch. You know why I don't care about the other speakers? Because they don't have what I have to offer in the marketplace. I'm not a storytelling speaker, Terry. It's not my style. I'm an ass to foot kind of speaker, move you to immediate action kind of speaker, get focused on your goals, get your shit organized kind of speaker. That's who I am. Now there's a sector, Trevor Romain is one of the best storytelling speakers I ever heard in my life. He's on our platform. He's out there in the marketplace killing it right now. You have to do what you do. And watch this. I'm not telling you that I do not tell snippets of stories. Of course I do. When you are delivering the art and science, when you're mastering the art and science behind delivering the message. And Gregory Adams, I'll see you back in there again. Elizabeth Cunningham, I'll be right with you as soon as I finish with Terry. Thank you for your patience. Y'all need to listen to what I'm saying. So I don't care what the other leadership speakers are. Terry, I don't have to anymore because I have a brand. See, they could try to do what I do, but they're going to fail. I've had speakers steal the word focus from me before. Not that I have it patented or trademarked or anything, but I'm America's leading focus expert. I have literally 100 different ways I could spell the word focus. No other speaker that touts that they are, somebody wrote a book called The Power of Focus. So anybody else in my space who was in that little micro niche, not one of them has as many acronyms to break down the word focus and customize the presentation the way I do. Not one of them. I go out my way to make sure that they don't do what I do. You know how I beat them to the punch? Because I know how to write better copy than them. I spend my time writing copy. You should be spending your time creating signature programs and understanding what the meeting planner wants, because the one that adds the most value is the one that's going to beat them to the punch. See, I'm willing to put my speaker info kit up against, you can put 1,000 speakers that they're thinking about for a conference. And the business that I'm going to get is the business that I'm going to get, because I'm gonna beat them to the punch, because my signature programs are written to solve a unique problem. And that's all you need to do. And then keep that brand in front of their face. And when they're ready to make a purchasing decision, I don't promise it to you, I guarantee you. If all they see is Terry Wade in their sleep, damn, Terry's always sending us valuable videos. Every single week, she sends us out a video to help us reduce our level of stress or increase our level of productivity. She always has the constituency or the members in mind. She's always talking about bringing value. She's always talking about how to help us do our job better. Every time I see her face, I get excited because she hasn't asked us for a damn thing so far, but yet she keeps dropping information on her social media that's valuable to us. Terry, am I making sense?
Yes, very much.
You should be giving away more free information than anybody else in your space. Yet I see speakers sharing bullshit from Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm not knocking them, all these reality shows. You are taking up real estate space on your social media. You should be using your social media as social proof that when the meeting planner goes or your coaching students go and check out your website or your social media, they should see nothing but value videos and content and pictures of you working in your space or things that you're sharing from your ideology, your approach. And that's brand, Terry, and nothing can be brand at the end of the day. You eliminate your competition when you focus on brand. I don't have to worry about anybody else saying it the way I say it because they can't generate the thoughts up here. They can't speak from their balls and their guts like I can. And that gives me the slight edge advantage. And it's going to give it to you too if you stick to what it is that you know how to do. You already got a brand, Terry. Lay on it, stand on it, believe in it. Everything, you got to put your life on the line for this shit and keep studying what problems you can help solve with the meeting planner, and you're going to be a high fee speaker, and it's going to be like a bag of microwave popcorn. Pop.
That's what I'm talking about.
And all of a sudden, when it starts heating up, your tour schedule is going to be full. Let us know what we can do to help you, Terry. And I still owe you a video too. We've been having some login issues with our, we've been having some back office issues with our Zoom, but it's getting worked out now, and I'll get you the video that you asked me for.
Awesome.
Okay, Terry, love you.
So
stay focused. All right, stay up.
I love you. Bye.
I love it when the students take a break. I love it when they have other things that they're building and they always know they can come back home. Elizabeth Cunningham.
Hello. Yay.
Hey, Elizabeth, how are you?
Hi. I know. Speaking of students who take a break and come back.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. So my question is about my professional bio.
Okay.
I've been writing it out and answering all the questions, and I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of credibility. Yay, good for me. But my problem is that I am having difficulty making it a little bit more succinct, and I don't want to make it sound like a resume. Like that's not the point, obviously.
Right.
So, like, any tips on how to make your bio more succinct? Because right now it looks like a resume and not like a professional bio.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely, it makes sense, and that's a question that comes up a lot, and this is what happens with you overachievers, Elizabeth, and you people that are accelerated thinkers. So let's just simplify it and slow it down. So watch this. When you read the instructions to fill out the bio, I ask you to answer the 8 questions. Now, when you answer the 8 questions, obviously it's going to be fragmented, and it will look like you're just pulling stuff from your bio because it's kind of all over the place. So you use the word, you want to make it more succinct, right?
Yeah.
So we want to make it flow, is what I call it. We want the bio to flow, which means that when you send the answers back to us, it should be broken down into paragraph format, and that's why you should read. Watch this. Once you answer the question, and then you have your resume kind of answer there, all the content, read the opening paragraph. Kevin T. Robertson is a consummate professional speaker and one of the world's leading authorities in da-da-da-da-da. All right. Now, you have to mirror the opening statement just the way it feels and just plug in your content. Do the best job you can at putting together the paragraphs. So you should be sending me 8 separate paragraphs. Let me read it. Let me check for flow, and then I'll give you some improvements, and then we'll go ahead and go from there.
Okay.
See, the good part is that when you're a woman of your professional distinction that has an impressive resume, has a thriving coaching business, and you're doing really well in the marketplace, we have a tendency to overthink what we're supposed to be doing.
100%.
And organization is the foundational principle of success. So when it starts getting really hectic or busy, simplify. Let's remove everything that's not working for you right now, which is you're just overthinking it just a little bit. Go back, submit your answers in paragraph format. I'm not looking for it to look perfect. You're going to send it to me, and I'm gonna put the polish up the diamond.
You're right.
I'm gonna have you ready for an appearance on MSNBC.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. You got any other questions?
That was the top of my, yes, is the answer to that question. So for the signature programs,
Yes.
because as you know, I work in the realm of like love and sex and relationships, and we had talked about doing something that was more like leadership focused, or even like communication focused.
Yes.
And so for the signature programs, I have been kind of tossing around a few ideas, I guess. But would it make sense to have a like leadership one, a relationship one, and like different flavors of like that? Or should I choose like leadership or relationships and then make 4 signature programs off of those categories? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. And that's another valid question that comes up a lot. It gets confusing when you start going in a lot of different directions, because this is what happens when you're multi-talented. So let's simplify this again.
Mm-hmm.
In module 2, and if you haven't got there yet, it's okay. But in module 2, I talk about picking a target market. So let's think about your target market first. For your now, I believe on the very first call, we were vibing. And I said, oh, Elizabeth, it's very interesting what you do. You know, you realize that, you know, we have to be adults when we talk about your topic, but
Right.
Sexual performance is about communication. And if you're stressing, and the pandemic has put everybody over the top when it's come to stress. So a lot of people are embarrassed to talk about sexual performance or communicate effectively. And what you have is a communication-based program.
Right.
So I wouldn't be upset with you if you turned it into a communication, like, watch this, sexual-based communication instead of sexual-based leadership. Or you could do intimate-based leadership. See? I'm giving you some ideas, because let me share something with you. Your topic, not only is it thought-provoking and disruptive, it's entertaining. It's something that breaks up the conference. Instead of these boring lectures that we're getting, perhaps we should hire Elizabeth Cunningham, and we can have her come in to help us connect more. Connecting more we can start with the professional side, and then we could talk about, well, guess what, gentlemen? Guess what, ladies? Because you're stressing, studies show that this has a huge impact, excuse me, on you see where I'm going?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I actually have a really funny story about, I taught an executive at a big, I live in Seattle, right? So a lot of tech companies. I actually taught an executive communication styles for his team off of how to create safe containers in BDSM.
Yes.
And he literally used the exact same framework in his meetings, obviously different topic, but used the exact same framework. And he was like, that was the most effective meeting I've ever run. My team was like asking me how I did it so well. My boss was asking me like, you know, can you teach us how to do this communication style? So yeah, it is. It is very disruptive. It's like how to use BDSM style communication and use and have a more effective team at work.
Yeah, it's important. It's important because understand this, is that the very things that we do not want to talk about are the very things that your signature programs help address. Again, big problem that we're having right now.
Yeah.
Everything is at an all-time high, Elizabeth. So this is a golden opportunity for your communication-based program to help remedy the pain. Remember, there is medicine inside of your messaging. I mean, there's a medicine inside of your messaging. They don't just want it, they need it.
Yeah.
These companies are struggling and they are suffering. It's happening in every organization. The ones with the better training and better management. This is the reason why you take one of our top coaching students like Tom Cronin. Tom is he's part of Amazon's global health initiative, and we helped them book 30 tour dates with Amazon to start putting together their global mental health initiative. They realized that they want to get in front of it. This was months ago when that happened. So they realized that that this is a challenge and that they need skilled consultants, trainers, teachers, facilitators, speakers to go in to start dealing with things that other people don't want to deal with. I would really, really be interested, and I'm encouraging you to look at, I can't wait to see your signature programs, and I'm encouraging you to be as disruptive as you can. Would take, excuse me, excuse me, take what you are currently doing and then get the ideas out in the signature program and then send it over to me and let me put the polish on it, or let me give you some suggestions how to put it on steroids. Remember, it's 2 paths you can take. If I were you, because we're so fractured in the area of communication right now, I would make all of my signature programs communication based.
Yeah.
Intimacy-based communication. You could do as many levels of communication as you want, or you can have one leadership program if you want. You can have one of them called, you can have communication-based leadership.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's you can flip it. Less words are better. Elizabeth,
Right.
what do you teach? I teach intimacy-based leadership. Oh, I teach intimacy-based communication. See what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I'm just catching the ear of the meeting planner, getting their attention enough for them to want to read more and then get on the call with you. Because if you're directly addressing things, if I were you in all the bullets, Elizabeth, I would put the benefit language for, let's take intimacy-based leadership. Because, you know, what you want to do, I learned that you know, alternative language is choosing a different word to get the same result. So perhaps a more digestible word instead of sexual is intimate. You see?
Yeah.
We could have an intimate conversation. It has nothing to do with sex, but there's a lot of things a lot of education you have about relationships. You definitely need to do relationship-based communication.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you can cover the corporate side, and then you are sending them home with strategies that's going to save their relationship.
Yep.
Damn, I'm good.
That's what, no, I get, like, when people hire me to help with their relationships, I always get, I think I've made more money because I'm working with you, because it's communication is every single part of your life. It's not just in your intimate relationships.
Yes. You listen, your signature programs are literally the gateway to help them into a new, improved way of life. And that's the kind of marketing verbiage that you should be using. You should be using, watch this in let's say we can do intimacy-based leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Build more connection through open lines of build what did I say? Build what?
Build more connection through open lines.
Build more positive connections, comma. Learn to speak more freely and explore conversation like never before. That's a bullet. That's a bullet that has benefits to the meeting planner. Yeah. Now read that back to me.
Build more positive connections, learn to speak more freely, and explore conversation like never before.
Okay, now if you had to tell me how to do that and you were at a seminar, if I hired you to speak, read that back again, and then I want you to give me one teaching point about how you're gonna teach me how to do that. See, this is just a bullet. This is just a talking point. But tell me how I'm gonna actually do what the bullet says. What are you gonna teach my organization? See, that's the verbiage that we need to put in there. So tell me that. Read the bullet back to me one more time, and then tell me what you're going to teach me, because I'm gonna ask you a question after the bullet. Go ahead.
Okay, great. So build more positive connections, learn to speak more freely, and explore conversation like never before.
Okay, Elizabeth, so how is my organization going to apply that after we hire you? Talk to me.
So how you're going to apply that is that I'm going to give you a framework for conversations that is easy to use for every single person in your organization individually, and also as teams, so that when you're having conversations together, that you can use this framework to increase productivity, to have people be heard, and to streamline communication like never before.
Hired. Benefit language, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Benefit. That's how, ladies and gentlemen, that's how it's done. She's already a top coach. If Terry Wade is still on here, I'm not sure if she is or not, but she can look back on the replay. Listen to me carefully. I asked Elizabeth a direct question. We created a bullet right here that was under intimacy-based leadership. Elizabeth, was that correct?
Yes.
Or intimacy-based communication, whichever one you like to use. And
Yeah.
then she read the bullet to me. I acted as if I was the meeting planner, and I said, okay, okay, break that down to me and tell me what we're going to actually be getting when I hire you. And she went right back to the ideology and the approach that she currently uses in her high six-figure coaching program that she's running, right? And she didn't give me some fluff and some bullshit. She didn't try to make me feel good. She gave me the how-to. She gave me the steps. She gave me the techniques. That's what you need to be doing with the meeting planner. The meeting planner wants nothing more than to put that kind of value on the stage, put that type of value in their online platform. Bring that on site. That was beautifully done. Elizabeth, we need to stay right there with all these signature programs, please.
Yeah.
Just give me the very best. Don't hold anything back. Don't overthink the bullets. Just say, write what you feel. Don't tell me what you think. We're going to get in trouble with the way you think. Tell me what you feel. Go back to the experience of what you currently are doing, and then take that verbiage and put it inside the signature program template. Send it over to me. We're going to go back and forth about 2 or 3 times. Your signature programs are going to be done.
Beautiful. Thank you. No, I appreciate it, because you're right. I've totally been overthinking it, and I've got it.
It's all good. That's what happens when you got a high business IQ. But remember, marketing verbiage, and Madison Avenue has taught us this for many, many years. It's real simplistic. When I'm looking at a beer commercial and I see a very attractive woman walking across the sand in a bikini, I'm not thinking about rocket science. I associate the fine ass woman in the bikini with the beer, and that's how I remember the name. I'm not thinking about anything else. That's marketing. Marketing is me making you believe what I want you to believe. When it's backed by the facts and powerful truth, it's unstoppable. And this is the reason why you have the strongest brands in the world. They are top of mind every single time you go into the grocery store. Elizabeth, don't you buy the same body gel? Don't you buy the same lotion? The stuff that you like, don't you keep spending money on that same stuff?
Oh yeah, 100%.
You don't switch it up every single weekend?
No.
The bottom line, we use Gain and Tide with bleach in our house. I've never seen anything else around here. Ever for 30 years. So that's brand loyalty, and that's what you're building. I can't wait to see your signature programs. Crush it. Send it over to support@speakerfocus.com. You got any other questions?
Nope, that's good for me right now. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this value. If you can't deliver value the way Elizabeth just did, you need to be saying your signature programs out loud every single day. And if you're not, I don't know what the hell you're doing with your time. That's how you get good as a speaker. You think I got this good by not practicing? You practice like you perform, and you perform like you practice. I think Gregory got a question. Gregory, are you there? I got disabled Elizabeth's talking first. Gregory, did you have a question?
I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead,
being one of the, I guess certainly the newest one on the line, and I'm sure I haven't gone through the modules yet, because as you know, I just signed up a little over an hour now.
Yeah, it's okay.
How do I hone in my topics? Should I do it based on my skill set, or do it based on what the market needs?
Okay, great question, Gregory. So let's break that down in a 2-part question. Let's go. Let me answer the need of the meeting planner and the market first. Right. Because Gregory, one thing we identify with you, we already know you understand sales cycles, and you're really good at being able to close, right? You're good at positioning of your brand. You know how to articulate what it is that you know how to do. So remember that the meeting planner wants the value. So your job is to solve a problem with one of your signature programs. What is the biggest problem and challenge that we have? Remember, leadership is the #1 bookable and most requested topic at conferences, corporate meetings, and events worldwide. If you just heard the scenario and the role play that I went through with Elizabeth. Elizabeth doesn't really need to speak about leadership, but she is going to go in to talk to corporations and associations because she has a product that can help them out both personally and professionally. And that's what your signature program should be doing. There should be a business component that spills right over to their personal lives. That's why I love talking about organization. I help people organize their focus. That's what these companies need. That's why my signature programs are built around that. Because when you're not organized as a business, it's going to spill over to your personal life. If your personal life is not organized, it is going to affect the way you do your job. So that's an important piece for me to lock in on, that they clearly understand that, oh, we're a horrible organization. Yes, most people are. That's the reason why I chose that topic, because I realized, Gregory, that it was the most pain. Most people don't like getting organized. You know why? Because it takes discipline to be organized. So I went to developing signature programs that would give the company more discipline, also to create more things that will create processes and systems that were simplistic. Simplistic application and practical approaches is what I want you to use. So the market, let me ask you a few questions. Sure. Out of the 6 different target, this is a great scenario to go through, because you're going to go through this in module 2. So what is, out of the 6 target markets, you have an affinity to speak to which one? The first one is the youth market, speaking to kids. Do you have an affinity to speak to kids? Do you have a program that is specifically for kids?
Yes.
Okay, let's do a process of elimination. Because remember, Gregory, what we teach you on the platform is you don't want to be a generalist. You want to be a specialist, subject matter expert, leading authority, and trusted advisor. We are promoting professional speaking on this platform. Go ahead. Okay,
and I may have jumped in too quick, because I haven't seen the 6 categories yet.
It's okay.
As you said. Okay.
That's why I'm giving them to you right now, because you're not the only one that's struggling with this. This is why we love the group Q&A call, because somebody will come up with something that a person on the call hasn't really thought about, or they're struggling with. A lot of you are just simply overthinking. Now, when I was working with Elizabeth has a very niche and unique topic that she teaches. So she can be very creative with how she goes into to deliver that, because she already runs a successful coaching program. She literally has the topics inside of her coaching program. We're just helping her develop them into high-powered speaking topics. So we'll be doing the same thing with you. So now, Gregory, let's do a process of elimination, because it's important that you take your messaging to one market. Youth market, speaking to kids. Faith-based market, speaking to churches. Government contracting market. College and university market. Corporate and association market. So out of those markets, youth, faith-based, government contracting, college and university, corporate and association, which one would you want to speak to? Who do you want to take your message to?
Faith-based.
Okay, faith-based. Now, I'm going to ask you this, Gregory, and this is really important. I know you and I had a real conversation on the original strategy call.
Yes, sir.
I remember I was out of town, laying my father-in-law to rest, and we had a great conversation. And I didn't hear you say that you had a spiritual-based program. I didn't, not that we didn't mention God once or twice, and that's okay, but I didn't really hear you lay on, yo, I'm in this faith-based thing. I got this spiritual message, KTR, . Your messaging was coming through strong for me in the world of business.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're right. I guess
we didn't have a spiritual conversation, Gregory.
Absolutely not.
So answer me this. So why do you have an affinity? Why do you feel like you want? And I'm not telling you don't do it. I'm just asking for a reason. So what kind of program do you want to deliver to churches or the faith-based market?
Well, the reason out of the 6 categories, that attracted me the most is something that had just come so naturally.
Okay.
Because I'm a minister, I'm a life coach, I've been in prisons, I've been in halfway houses, I've worked in different places just volunteering. I am a natural motivator, but I'm also an emancipator. I get people to be set free from things that are bound in them, recognizing that there's more in them than they realize.
Okay,
And
you want
that's
people to be set free. I love it. Hey, Gregory, while you're talking, can you jot down emancipation-based leadership for me, please? Can you jot that down?
okay.
That could potentially be one of your signature programs. Emancipation-based leadership. You see where I'm going? See, as you're talking to me, you're telling me the things you're passionate about. Now we have tons of men and women of clergy on our platform. I'm talking from apostles to pastors to deacons to bishops to licensed ministers. We work with them all. I'm not telling you, what I'm telling you is this: I have a responsibility. You just made an investment, so I have a responsibility. I have seen the bottom and the top of each one of these markets. I have personally worked in them after delivering over 2,700 paid speaking engagements. Had I had more leadership direction in the world of marketing, I would have left a lot of those markets alone, but I had to hit every single bump in the road. What I'm telling you is, and I'm sure you've been through this, like a lot of men and women of clergy on our platform. They speak at these church events, they take up a collection, and you have enough for some Chick-fil-A and some gas money on the way home.
Hopefully, right.
Hopefully. So you're putting yourself in a position where they're giving you what they want you to have. We're hoping and praying that we can take up enough to earn a sizable fee. What I'm telling you is the smaller churches are going to put you in that position. But if you speak at Manpower Conference at Potter's House with TD Jakes, if you speak at Dr. Floyd Flake's church in New York, it's about 400 plus mega churches nationwide. And those are the ones that have the bigger budgets. If you have a leadership program that is going to dominate that space, see, this is how you create the separation. Like every other apostle and deacon and bishop and minister, they have a brand, they have market differentiation. What separates them away from every other average run-of-the-mill motivational or inspirational speaker is the way they think. Everybody is an empowerment or leadership speaker, but what makes them unique, Gregory, is what you just said. Now, I've never given emancipation-based leadership to one of my coaching students ever. And I've done this tens of thousands of times, literally. You should be creating signature programs around the things you're passionate about. And then you got to take it to the right target market who's going to pay you the $5,000+ that you want just for 1 hour. Because, Gregory, I have done it the other way before, and it doesn't feel good when they put their arm around you and they take up a collection and you can barely pay the light bill. It feels better, and you know you're not getting used when you get $5,000 and you can spread that around a whole lot more than $500 or $100. So I am teaching you on this platform how to put together signature programs that convert into revenue, that get the ear of the meeting planner who is going to solve a problem. So watch this. What's one of the biggest things in the church that you feel like is a challenge right now to the leadership?
Loyalty.
Well, you need to do loyalty-based leadership. And I know you can go in loyalty. See, Gregory, this is what I'm talking. You see how this is coming out as we're having a conversation. You and we had a real, I'm talking a brother manhood conversation. And the very first time we talked, didn't we notice that? We felt like we've known each other for years.
Absolutely.
So that I know that's who you are. I know that this is why you can go into prisons, because you have authenticity.
Yes.
Sometimes when you're dealing with prisons and things of this nature, they're funded by city, local, and state and federal municipalities who don't have large budgets. If you're going to do that, what I recommend to all of you, if you want to play Mother Teresa, then you want to have a philanthropic arm to your business, focus on getting some money first and then doing some charity work or some goodwill ambassadorships and going in and giving away your time. It's something called opportunity cost, Gregory. And you cannot keep doing the stuff for free or low fee because you can't build a sustainable business model doing work like that. So what I'm telling you is emancipation-based leadership. And what was the other one that I gave you?
Loyalty-based leadership.
Loyalty-based leadership. You should build your signature programs around that. And then if you want to speak in the faith-based market, you should be going to the mega churches. There, you can go to Wikipedia right now. You can pull up mega churches. It'll give you every single mega church with the congregation size, the revenue size, all of it. The statistics and the numbers are right there. You should be trying to target those coordinators, Gregory, because those are the ones that have the bigger spiritual ministry conferences, things of that nature. And those are the ones that are looking for to bring in speakers just like you. So you can go in there and tell the rest of them pastors and the rest of them ministers how to be loyal, how to be more loyal, how to have a more loyal congregation. Whatever it is you're trying to teach, deal with the pain first. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the reason why I was asking between, do I focus on a skill set or do I focus on really what generates the most money? Because
remember,
clearly,
what generates the most money is leadership. Remember that.
Okay.
Period. Leadership is
you.
the #1 bookable and most requested topic at conferences, corporate meetings, and events worldwide. Gregory, they're not hiring you for your skill set off the break. They're hiring you because they want a leadership or an empowerment speaker first. First, that's what they want. That's the Trojan horse. That's going to get you through the door. That's the cash cow. Remember that. Then they want to know about your niche. We all got different niches. My niches, I want you to stay organized. I want you to stay focused. I help you organize your focus. I help you see things more clear. I magnify success in your personal and professional vision. That's the kind of leadership speaker that I am. You see, I was talking to Elizabeth. She can easily speak to the corporations, but she also has something that's going to help you get right with your relationships. That's very powerful. That's very alluring. That's very attractive. So you've got to be able to take your skill set as a leadership speaker and go in and help these churches, if that's going to be your thing, solve a bigger problem. If not, you need to go where the bigger dollars are, where they're going to put up less resistance. They don't want to hear nothing about religion and politics in the corporate and association market, but they got the bigger budgets.
Right.
And what do you do professionally?
I do real estate, I do photography, and I do security.
Exactly. You're a real hustler. So you understand about entrepreneurism. You understand about adversity. You understand about struggle. Look at all the stuff that you had to go through. It hasn't been easy. That's the part about your journey that we're trying to help you, and we're going to help you define in module 1 and 2. And Gregory, it's okay if it's not solidified right now. But when you come out of module 2, you've got to understand what your messaging is going to be about, and you got to understand what target market you are going to take that to, because it needs to be clear. Most speakers are horrible at messaging, and they're all over the place. And we will not allow you to go into the marketplace and start connecting with meeting planners with sketchy messaging. And that's the reason why we deal with it right off the break. So I'm not here to judge you. I don't care what you want to speak about. I just want you to get the ideas out, like we've discovered in this call, emancipation-based leadership. You want people to be free. I get it. I have a signature program called Freedom-Based Focus. See, all my signature programs are focus-based. They're leadership programs, but they're all focus-based. KTR's Management Series, KTR's Diamond Series, KTR's Gold Series, KTR's Platinum Series. This is all Platinum Leadership, Platinum Executive Series. That's the thing that I focus on. See, you can start drilling down on the niche once you identify with the problem. What's the problem that you want to solve? And then watch this. You say your niche is going to be the faith-based market. And then I'm telling you that the niches that you should focus on the faith-based are the mega churches, because those are the ones that got the bigger budgets. That's where the money is. And from there, they're going to tell you about the Christian Baptist Ministers Conference, the Methodist Association of America is having a conference, and they need a leadership speaker, and they need somebody to come in. See, bro, Gregory, you're already disruptive. You might as well just go ahead and put the words down there and just listen. Remember when I said my kind of honesty is not for everybody?
Right.
And you told me, you said, hey, I understand that. We starting the conversation off on the right foot, because that's how you operate as well. And that's what people need to hear. and you have the guts and balls enough to be able to tell it to them like it is. So I suggest you put down all those words in your signature programs, send it over to me. Let me polish up the diamond. We go back and forth about 2 or 3 times. Your signature programs are going to be done, and you will be ready to start connecting with meeting planners with the kind of verbiage that's going to speak to them in terms of they understand. Am I making sense?
You are. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Emancipation-based leadership, loyalty-based leadership.
Now you need 2 more, because the signature program template, when you have your onboarding Zoom session tomorrow, but I'm going to walk you through
Correct.
the template, and then you're gonna go through the template and start building your messaging. Like I said, don't overthink it. One thing I love about you, Gregory, you have fury and you got passion inside of you. There's some kind of drive that's pushing you to say what it is you want to say. So watch this. If you want to teach other people how to be free, then you're going to have to be free when you drop this verbiage. And what I want you to do is I want you to go back to the pain that you've seen in the church, the pain that you see pastors experiencing right now, the pain that you see the congregations going through. That's another area where people are commiserating and they need help. And it's so much disarray going on in the church right now, bro. And you know what I'm talking about. You know how to fix it. You know what's going on.
Yes. Yeah, I just did a luncheon with the ministers. But yeah, so I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I just didn't know
stuff
what
I want you to. Yes.
I didn't know what these categories were and the focus was.
Yes.
And
that's
now
what
I see what those are. The key word is always leadership.
Leadership. Yes, sir. At the end of the day, no matter what kind of speaker you are providing organizational and directional leadership for that particular audience. And you have to build trust through your signature programs. You have to demonstrate value through the opening paragraphs and the bullets and watch this, Gregory. The opening paragraphs and the bullets in the signature programs are going to be there. They are the very representation of who you are as a spiritual leader. And they need to read that, and they're going to say, wow, loyalty-based leadership. I already know it's fire and brimstone in his message. I could tell by just reading it. See, Gregory, the very thing who you are, bro, you got to put that in this verbiage, and then let us teach you how to build the right kind of messaging that is thought-provoking, disruptive, with all your headlines, topics, titles, and descriptions. You'll be on fire. See, I already know you know how to deliver the message. I already know that. You got to get good at copywriting.
Correct.
You got it?
Correct. Yeah,
okay.
I'm excited.
Got any other questions?
No, not at this point. No, I'm good.
Okay, well, I'll see you tomorrow on the welcome Zoom session, and we'll go from there, brother.
Yes.
Okay, man. Glad to have you on board.
All right. God bless you.
You too, man. I love it. I love it when I got my men or women of clergy who can just talk open and real, because that's really what people need. That's really what they need. They need that these days to be able to help them move the meter. And we all are on a spiritual quest. Jonathan King, one of your students in the community, one of your classmates, Gregory, Jonathan said, emancipation-based leadership sounds very cool. It piques my interest to find out what it really is. I think it sounds right for church leaders. Absolutely. Absolutely. And see, if JK is thinking that, see, again, what I'm teaching all of you to do is think like the meeting planner. Don't think like a speaker. Jonathan is saying emancipation-based leadership is lit because he's saying, well, damn, I want to know what else is there. And what else is going to be there, Gregory, is going to be the verbiage in your signature programs. It does the talking for you when you're not there. This is the reason why your signature programs need to be on point. Anybody else have any questions? I am going to do the final call to questions. Auston is on vacation this week in a faraway island, and he is well earned and well deserved. And if you have any technical questions, please submit a support ticket to support@speakerfocus.com. Let me see. This is the last call for questions. If I don't see any other hands go up in the next 30 seconds, we are going to wrap this Q&A. However, if you have any questions, you know, you can always submit them to support@speakerfocus.com and we will answer the question. Now, oh, Gregory said, I look forward to making it clear. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what the messaging should do. I cannot stress this to you enough. Your number one skill in this industry is not speaking. A lot of you talk too much anyway. I already know you do that part good. Your number one skill should be copywriting, and you should be spending your time making sure that you craft the messaging that is going to be digestible to the person who you are connecting with. You need to make them think. That's why your signature programs need to be thought-provoking and disruptive. You need to educate them, and that is the reason why the opening paragraphs and bullets should offer so much value. And if you're thinking like that to solve a problem, so you should be doing research on the meeting planners. Do research on people in your niche. If you want to get booked by youth coordinators at leadership conferences, you need to be thinking about what does the youth coordinator do? Where do they hang out? What kind of language do they speak? What kind of problems do they have? If you want to speak to churches, you want to speak at church conferences, you want to speak at church associations meetings, you want to speak at special events for churches, you need to be connecting with the churches that have the budget. Forget about taking up a collection for me. I want my fee prior to you coming. When I connect with the right church organization, they got the budget. That's why they pay my dear friend, one of my colleagues, Joel Osteen. They pay Joel $100,000+ for honorarium. What we talking about $5,000. That's nothing. That's why I get $50,000 for a keynote. But I'm in the corporate and association market because you're not going to play around with my money. I've already been through it before. Now, I'm telling you about facts in this industry. If you don't understand how to connect with the right coordinator, they are going to play with your money. This is a business that I operate. I am an entrepreneur. I'm not in this shit to play games. Get to the yes or no as quickly as possible. That's the reason why you see my straight shooter approach from the very, very first second that I talk to you all the way through with the way we train you and teach you on this platform. There's no other learning experience like it. You want some fluffy bullshit, go somewhere else. We're going to have a real conversation about how you're going to build your speaker business. And I'm not going to play games with you about how to do that. You're going to do the work or you're not going to get the money. You're going to have a limited amount of success and you're going to be scared to death. That is a part of it. Get over yourself. Get over your fears. Look yourself in the mirror and deal with your shit, because I deal with mine. I don't care who you are. Find the person in the youth market who books leadership speakers and understand the way they think. Find the meeting planner in the faith-based market and understand how they think. Understand what their problem is. What pain are they going through? Where are they hemorrhaging problems? Find out what's going on. If you have an affinity for the government contracting market, they award trillions, literally not billions, trillions of dollars in government contracts every single year. The training is a big part of it. They typically gonna cap you out at about probably $3,000, $4,000 a day for a full day training, but they do pay. I was doing 3, 4 of them. I mean, I was doing 7 to 10 of those, sometimes 12 to 15 a month. Yes, I was getting paid, but I wanted to go somewhere, place where I was celebrated, not tolerated. I wanted to go somewhere where my skill set was rewarded. That's why I speak in the corporate and association market, because I got a business professional in front of me who wants to learn, and they hire me so I could come break down the team boot camp style and build the team back up and give them the strategies and the how-tos and show them exactly while I'm there what they're supposed to be doing. If you're going to thrive in the college and university market, you got to have a program that's leadership centric. You got to have a dynamic leadership program that is going to enhance campus life. And when you do, they will book you on a repeated basis. Same thing with the corporate and association market. These meeting planners are struggling right now. Their membership, their co-workers, the executiveship, the managerial supervisory level, these people are hurting. It is your responsibility as a speaker to help them solve problems. Nobody gives a damn about your little fluffy ass message anymore. So you might as well leave that shit at the airport or at home or discuss it with your friends. We are in a mental health crisis caused by the pandemic. If you are not putting together messaging that is really moving the meter and helping somebody solve problems, I'm telling you right now, you're in the wrong business, because the lion's share of the revenue is going to the people who can solve the biggest problem. That's right, I said it. Now, if you're interested in really helping, like you say you are, then you're going to get your ass in there and design some signature programs that are going to blow them out the water when they read it, because you're not going to be there to try to talk them into it. Selling is not convincing. Selling is proper positioning of your brand, presentation of the facts, showing them the value. So why aren't you posting more value videos on your social media? I don't know. You don't want to pick the phone up, open up your app, press record, and just say, hey, meeting planners, this is Kevin T. Robertson, America's leading focus expert. I understand you have a Metavision conference coming up soon, and I want to give you some quick tips about how to reduce your level of stress prior to the conference. I know meeting planners are running around like a chicken with their head cut off, and I'm here today to just be able to add some value to let you know you got somebody on your team. Tip number 1 is, tip number 2 is, tip number 3 is, boom, video done. But you're not doing that on your social media, are you? You're not adding value to the very person who has the freaking check in their hand who can hire you to speak. You know why? Because you're too selfish. You're too self-promoting. You don't give a damn about anybody except for you. And that's the reason why you're not a high-fee speaker. I used to think the same exact way. Pull that shit with somebody else. Please. I'm respectfully requesting that you start doing some research on the very person who has the money to hire you to speak. Oh, they want to give it to you, but they just don't want to give it to anybody. Remember what the meeting planner's thinking. What makes this guy, what makes him so special? Why should we hire him? What makes him so special? Why should we separate ourselves from our $5,000 and give it to you? What makes you so different? Brand starts in here. We all look the same on the inside, but we all are uniquely and specifically wired for a purpose. And you need to understand, if you're a speaker or coach or consultant and you don't understand what your purpose is, at this stage in the game, you need to do some soul searching, because your purpose is going to reveal your identity. Your identity is going to allow you to be comfortable in your own skin, and okay that you're going to articulate what's inside of you. You got to get that out. You got to go back and get the pain and put that in your messaging. That's why I'm so passionate, because I've been through all of this stuff before. The very thing that I'm teaching you how to do right now, I've been through. I've been punched in the face, punched in the gut, kicked up the butt. I've been embarrassed in this business. And that's the reason why I'm on the world's #1 platform for speaker marketing as a CEO, is because I know what I'm talking about, because I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I've been able to overcome it. You can do it too. I did not start at the top in this business. I started all the way at the bottom at age 17, right out of high school. I jumped right into my first paid speaking engagement a couple months later when I turned 18. Now I'm telling you, you are going to learn the lessons, or the lesson is going to learn you. Now, with that being said, I don't see anybody else's hand up. Eileen, you're very nice. Let me see. Start putting out text. We'll start putting out, again, words of encouragement. Yep. There you go. You just got to keep recording content, Eileen. You're getting better and better. Every time I see you record something, you just got to keep on moving forward. I want to say this to you. Let me see. Oh, Brian, you're very welcome, brother. Miss you, man. Miss you, man. Stay focused. Stay on the grind. We're here for you, all of you, no matter if you stop and start. This is why the platform is set up the way it is, so you can always pick up right where you left off. On behalf of the entire team at Speaker for, whoa, we got Brian. I think is that Brian? It might be Brian. We got like 5 or 6 Brians. That's that this name or spell Brian, and then we got a Brian. Yeah, just a Brian Foster's on the line too. I think this is Brian. Which Brian is this? Okay, I think I know. Brian, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Boom, Brian Rehorn.
Yep.
That's an unmistakable voice. See how I picked you out above and beyond the other 5 or 6 Brian. Brian Foster is on the call too. But yeah, what's up, Brian? How you feeling, boss?
Really good.
Good, man.
I haven't felt this good in years.
Oh my God, good.
Yeah. Even though I may need another operation on my neck.
Okay.
It's all good.
Okay.
It's all good. What you just said, you nailed what I was in a conference the last 4 days, and you nailed. You could have held that conference yourself.
Okay. What did I say?
You kind of do the work, get off your ass. You're unique. We're all wired differently. We all are on the same on the inside, but on the outside we look different. But we're all wired uniquely for something different. And the part about not getting your ass out there and doing sharing your skills, sharing your gift from God. How selfish could you be?
Yeah, it is, Brian. And and it's amazing that you observe that and you point these things out as you're going through your journey and you're still battling some things that we all are going through, man. And I really appreciate the fact that you are vulnerable the way you are. It shows a lot about your character. Again, the very things that you were going through when you were trying to craft your messaging for your signature programs. I see this with people every single day. Again, I'm in a very blessed and fortunate situation that, when you run a multi-million-dollar sales funnel, man, I talk to everybody. And a lot of people still don't know what their purpose is. And I'm telling you, figuring out your brand really starts with that. Like if you understand what you was put here to do, now watch this. Now the vision in my head, I see, oh man, I know exactly what I need to be wearing in that particular arena, whether or not that's a suit or some joggers or a bomber jacket or whatever the case is. Because I understand what my purpose is, these words start coming to me. America's leading focus expert. Watch this. The late great Dottie Walters. She's a giant, an old school giant in the speaking industry. She wrote a book called Speak and Grow Rich. It was a book about how to become a professional speaker. They won a poll 2,000% over any other book that was ever written. So this was back before the internet blew up. I went to the library and I found Walter Speakers Bureau in Glendora, California. I had no idea who this lady was. I did not know she was a speaking giant. I didn't know she was so educated. I didn't know she could show me the step-by-step process of building a speaker business. And anyway, I give her a call. She picks the phone up. I don't even know who she is. She talks to me for like an hour and something. She runs me up one side, down the other. What do you speak about? And she said, young man, do not tell me you could speak about anything. And that's exactly what I was getting ready to tell her. Because I didn't know any better, man. I was still in my early 20s. So she said, don't tell me you can speak about anything. She said, I have over 30,000 speakers in my speakers bureau. She said, all of them are unique in their own way. She said, what is it that you speak about? And I had to think about it, Brian, cause I was scared. I didn't want to talk out my ass again. So I thought about it. I just sat in my own thoughts. I closed my eyes. I said, I know how to focus. When I focus on something, I can go after what it is that I want. When I see something real clear, I know how to focus on it and go get it. She said, I have 30,000 speakers in my speakers bureau, and not one of them speaks about focus, and not one of them has ever said it to me like that. She said, focus is being able to see things other people don't see. I said, well, I'm real good at being able to do that. I talked to my friend, and that's when America's leading focus expert was born. See, I knew that something in my life was tied in to my purpose was tied into focus. It was tied into organization. I am really anal with the way I manicure myself, with the way my house is, with the way I wear my clothes from top to bottom. Everything's got to be matching, including underwear and socks. Everything. My mother taught me this when I was a kid. But this vision in my head That's part of my brand. Part of my brand, Brian, is the way I speak. It's the passion. It's from the gut. I don't like fake. I don't allow it around me. So anybody that's going to thrive in my circle has got to be real. So I know that that's part of my brand. Brian, just like part of your brand is recovery-based leadership. A part of your brand is your testimonials. You're walking through it. Brian, think about the story that you're really going to have, bro. And you're going to be able to tell them how many times you were scared and you didn't want to get out the bed. How many times that medical situation you're going through has held you back. And now you're getting the surgery to correct it and all of this. Man, it is going to be so powerful.
No, it's not the surgery. As a matter of fact, I think I found some exercises where I'm not going to need the surgery.
Oh, okay.
What's holding me back is the court case. I can't open a business until that's over.
Got it.
Told you, you know the dollar figure. If I go into this, the dollar figure, I can't afford $300,000 to pay back.
Yeah.
I
understand.
You know, and that's what I'm waiting on. And I want to choke the lawyer, but I can't.
Well, guess what? Remember this, brother. Remember this, is that I'm dealing with a lot of people that are in your situation right now. They have to play the background in order for the case to go out. Matter of fact, I just talked to a gentleman today. He was a corporate executive for 31 years. He's getting ready to start the coaching program, but he cannot earn any money on the books for like another year until his disability thing transfers over to something else. And he's like, yo, if
SSI.
I put some money on the books, then I'm going to be all messed up with that. I said, I understand.
That's right.
But I said, watch this. But what you can be doing until you can put some money on the books is you could be learning and growing.
All right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm taking a copywriting course.
Yes, good.
I've been doing that. I write every day. I haven't been doing too much research on the the event planners. You know, I was doing that for a while.
Yeah, why haven't you?
Why haven't you?
Yeah.
Where I live, I volunteered. I'm a director of the building, and I practice my speaking in front of an association meeting once a month.
Okay, good.
No, yeah. So, you know, I'm out there in the community. You know, I'm giving back. I'm about service. I believe you get what you give. You know, and you know.
Wait a minute, Brian. Wait a minute. Let's not get too far away from what I asked you. I already know you're doing all of that.
Go ahead.
But why aren't you doing some research on the meeting planner? 5, 10, 15 minutes a day.
That's just fell off the plate.
Pull up some articles. I could go to Google right now. Biggest problems meeting planners face during the pandemic. Boom. It will be people after subject matter experts writing articles about the meeting planning industry. Join some of these associations. Join some of the same associations that the meeting planner joins. And then you start thinking like the meeting planner. You start going to the forums. You start hanging around the meeting planner. You don't have to be a meeting planner to join some of these associations, but you're gonna be amazed at what you're gonna learn. Listen to the way they talk to each other. It's like going to a doctor's convention. All the doctors talk. Engineers going to an engineering convention. They all talk a specific language. You need to learn the language at the meeting plan. Man, I love talking to meeting planners. I love it because most of them are burnout. Most of them are so unorganized. Most of them they're having a difficult time staying organized. And my topics just fit right into the chaos that they have in their lives. See, my signature programs bring chaos. No, it brings calm amidst the sea of chaos.
Correct.
You see? And that's what your signature programs are supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So stay on the grind, Brian. Listen, I know you got the energy, and I know you have the ability. But what you're missing is just staying in the game of connecting with the people who help write the checks. You got to do more of that, because see, that part doesn't feel good, does it?
I'm more of not that I write a check to myself every day to the universe, $5,000. $5,000. I write a check out every day. I envision getting that check.
I understand that part, Brian. So all I'm asking you to do is get more activity of understanding the meeting planner. Okay.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. All right. Like I said, it fell off the plate, and thanks for the kick in the ass. Thanks for the reminder.
Love you, man. Hey, look, stay focused.
Right back at you.
What you're doing, okay? I'll talk to you real soon.
You got it. Bye.
Hey, boss. See, it takes a real big person. It really does. And I want to share this because it really takes a special person to go through some stuff and fall off the wagon and then get back in the coaching program. And we all go through life. The chat is blowing up right now. People say they lost loved ones. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. Yes, Brian Foster. Yes, Brian Foster. Brian, yes, you should be interviewing the meeting planner. You should be join the associations that the meeting planners join. You know, pay a small fee so you can become a part of their world. And you'll start to see, wow, that's what the meeting planner goes through. That's what they go through on a regular basis. I can't believe this. You're going to be shaking your head. I can't believe that the meeting planner has to go through all of this stuff. So I'm telling you this because you can overcome insurmountable odds in this industry. I see it happen every single day. Every time I take the stage with other speakers, you listen to their story. You listen to the way they came up. And that's also what makes you unique as well, because we all have a different experience that we go through. No one of our experiences is the same. It may be similar, but it's never the same. My story of growing up in the hood, eating fried bologna and cheese sandwiches, that's my story. Fighting rats and roaches, and growing up in an underprivileged neighborhood with a lot of love in the house, that's my story. Knowing that I had struggles with my dad. It was a lot of friction. Got kicked out the house at 18. Had to start slinging dope for survival. But I was always an entrepreneur. I was always taking seminars. I took a Dave Deodato seminar back in the day. I took Carlton Sheets, taught me how to flip properties. I started at the bottom, flipped over 600 houses. Started speaking at 17. Didn't know anything about business. Now I've delivered over 2,750 paid speaking engagements. I didn't know anything about marketing. Now I run a multi-million-dollar sales funnel and a software company. Come on, man. Don't tell me it can't be done. Don't tell me it can't be done. I do this shit every day. Everybody's background and the way they came up is different. You got to use the pain. You got to use your struggle. You got to use all of your adversities. You got to use everything you've been through. And you got to put that in your messaging, because the very pain that you feel like you can't even handle right now, you're crying your eyeballs out. You stand up all night long. You're going through physical, spiritual, emotional abuse right now. The very thing that you're able to overcome is the thing that somebody is going to need to tap into some of your strength that you have on that stage to share that message one day. And they're going to walk over to you and say, thank you so much for telling your story. Thank you so much for the way you said what you said, because I was getting ready to give up. You know how many people I've saved from killing themselves? Literally right there as I've come off the stage. I was at a college presentation one time. I had a guy to tell me, he said, man, I was getting ready to go back to the street and start hustling dope. And he literally showed me the dope and he took it and threw it in the trash. Man, we out here changing lives. What are you talking about? You need to be doing whatever you got to do to get your speaker business where it needs to be, because these chosen few of high fee speakers who are getting the lion's share of the revenue, who have their business model, who are keeping their head down and finishing the work, those are the ones that are on stage telling their story. You got to get your messaging to the right meeting planner and stay top of mind. A lot of jewels, a lot of golden nuggets in this Q&A session alone. I was going to wrap it up, and I'm going to do it now. This is No, on behalf of the entire team at speakerfocus.com. Austin, we can ready to take it to another level, baby. On behalf of the entire team at speakerfocus.com, it is absolutely an honor and a privilege to come to you every single week and help you fix your deficiencies and limitations and help build your confidence and your messaging and your sales tools and your automation and provide the support that we provide on our platform. We love it. We're here for you. Keep submitting those support tickets. Listen, keep your mouth shut, keep your head down, and keep grinding. In the next 3 to 6 months, your speaker business is not going to be the same. You are not going to be the same man or woman that you are right now, because I'm changing. I am moving into new spaces into my life, and I'm so excited. I want you to do the same. Stay focused, ladies and gentlemen. I love you so much. Keep submitting the support tickets and keep getting the work done. I see you real soon.